Billionaire CEO panics when a $7 million system crashes, then a black waitress walks in and fixes it in seconds. What if the unlikeliest person, a waitress with no formal tech training, could walk into a billion-dollar tech company and fix its most catastrophic failure in a matter of minutes? The 42nd floor of Elise Technologies' headquarters in downtown San Francisco was a cathedral of glass and steel, a monument to Elise Carter's unrelenting ambition. At 46, Elise was a force of nature, sharp-eyed, quick-witted, and unapologetically driven. Her dark hair, always pulled into a sleek bun, framed a face that could silence a room with a single glance. She'd built this company from a cramped garage in Oakland, clawing her way past skeptics who doubted a woman could dominate the male-heavy world of AI and data security. Gender bias, financial droughts, and countless sleepless nights hadn't stopped her. Now, her company was valued at $12 billion, and she was on the verge of cementing her legacy with Guardian, a revolutionary AI system designed to protect sensitive government and corporate data. Elise stood at the head of the conference room, her navy blazer crisp against the chaos unfolding around her. The room buzzed with the frenetic energy of her top engineers, men and women in their 20s and 30s, hunched over laptops, their fingers flying across keyboards. The massive screen on the wall displayed a dashboard of red alerts, each one a dagger to Elise's heart. Guardian had gone live at 10 a.m., a moment she'd envisioned as her triumph. By 10:03, it had crashed spectacularly, locking up servers, freezing data streams, and sending error codes cascading like a digital waterfall. "This can't be happening," Elise muttered, her voice low but trembling with barely contained fury. She pressed her fingers to her temples, her mind racing. This wasn't just a technical glitch, it was a catastrophe. Guardian was her brainchild, a $7 million project that had taken 3 years to develop. It was supposed to be unbreakable, a shield for national security and corporate secrets alike. The Pentagon was watching. Her investors were watching. The world was watching. And now, it was falling apart. Her lead engineer, Raj Patel, a wiry man with glasses perpetually sliding down his nose, looked up from his laptop, his face pale. "Elise, we've checked the code, the servers, the APIs, everything. It's like the system's rejecting itself. We can't find the source." "How is that possible?" Elise snapped, her voice cutting through the room like a whip. "We tested this for months. Months. You're telling me no one knows why it's failing?" The room fell silent, the weight of her words hanging heavy. Raj swallowed hard, his fingers hovering over his keyboard. "We're trying, Elise. It's like chasing a ghost." Elise turned to the window, staring out at the city skyline. Her reflection stared back, a woman who had fought for everything she had. She'd grown up in a small town in Ohio, the daughter of a schoolteacher and a factory worker. She'd been told her dreams were too big, her ambitions too bold. Yet she'd built an empire. And now, it was crumbling. The media would be ruthless. Her competitors, vultures like Nexus Corp, would pounce. And the national security implications? She didn't even want to think about it. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. A text from her PR manager. "TechCrunch is sniffing around. They know something's wrong. We need a statement." Elise's stomach twisted. She had no statement. Not yet. The elevator dinged, and Maya Williams stepped onto the 42nd floor, balancing a stack of takeout containers from Daisy's Diner. At 28, Maya was a study in quiet resilience. Her dark curls were pulled into a loose ponytail, and her navy apron was slightly wrinkled from a morning of rushing between tables. Her brown eyes, sharp and observant, scanned the sleek office as she navigated past glass partitions and modern art installations. She'd been delivering to Elise Technologies for months, always for the same order: turkey club sandwiches, extra avocado, no mayo. But today, the air felt different. Charged. Heavy. Maya set the containers on a conference table, her movements quick but precise. She noticed the tension immediately, the way the engineers avoided eye contact, the way Elise paced like a caged animal. Maya had seen stress before. Growing up in Oakland's tougher neighborhoods, she'd learned to read a room, to sense when things were about to break. And this room was on the verge of shattering. Is everything okay? Maya asked, her voice soft but steady as she arranged the sandwiches. Elise stopped pacing, her eyes narrowing as she registered Maya's presence. What? It seems like something's wrong, Maya said, meeting Elise's gaze. There was no judgment in her tone, only curiosity. Elise let out a bitter laugh. Wrong? Oh, you could say that. Our $7 million system just crashed, and no one can figure out why. We're about to lose everything. The words spilled out before Elise could stop them. She didn't know why she was telling this to a stranger, a waitress no less. But something about Maya's calm demeanor, her steady eyes, her unassuming presence, made Elise feel like she could breathe for the first time in hours. Maya tilted her head, her brow furrowing. A system crash? Like software? Elise nodded, exasperated. Yes. Software. AI. The kind of thing that's supposed to protect national security, not blow up in our faces. Maya hesitated, then spoke, her voice almost tentative. I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, but I'm pretty good with patterns. Figuring things out when they break. Mind if I take a look? The room went still. Raj looked up from his laptop, his mouth slightly open. Another engineer, Sarah, raised an eyebrow. You're the delivery person, right? Maya shrugged, unfazed. Yeah. But I've fixed worse things than a sandwich order. Elise stared at her, torn between disbelief and desperation. Visitoring a billionaire's empire on a catering job was insane, but so was the idea that her entire team of Ivy League engineers couldn't solve this. She had nothing to lose. Fine, she said, gesturing to a workstation. Knock yourself out. Maya sat down, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. The engineers exchanged skeptical glances, but Maya didn't notice. Her focus was razor-sharp, her eyes scanning the error logs on the screen. She didn't know code, not formally, but she'd spent her life fixing things. Broken toasters, leaky pipes, budgets that didn't add up. Her childhood had been a masterclass in survival, forcing her to see patterns where others saw chaos. And this system. It was just another puzzle. The logs were a mess of numbers and cryptic messages, but Maya's mind worked differently. She saw connections, threads that others missed. Her fingers moved quickly, pulling up server logs, cross-referencing timestamps, and tracing data flows. The room was silent, save for the hum of the computers and Elise's sharp intakes of breath. There, Maya said suddenly, pointing at a line of code. The authentication server's response time is off. It's not syncing with the primary database. That's why it's freezing. Raj leaned over her shoulder, his eyes wide. How did you see that? Maya shrugged again, her voice calm. It's like when the coffee machine at the diner jams. You check the flow, find the clog. Same thing. She typed a few commands, rerouting the server's authentication protocol. The screen flickered, then stabilized. Green lights replaced the red alerts. The system was back online. The engineers erupted in stunned murmurs. Elise stepped forward, her voice barely above a whisper. Is it fixed? Maya nodded, standing up. Should be. Try running it again. Raj hit a key, and the dashboard lit up, data streaming smoothly. The room exploded in cheers. Elise stared at Maya, her mouth open. Who are you? Maya smiled, a little sheepish. Just Maya. I work at Daisy's. Later that afternoon, Elise pulled Maya into her office, a sleek space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the bay. Maya stood awkwardly, still in her apron, clutching her delivery bag. Elise sat on the edge of her desk, studying her. How did you do that? Elise asked, her voice softer now, almost reverent. You're not trained. You've never worked in tech. Maya shifted, her eyes on the floor. I grew up fixing things. My mom worked 2 jobs, so I had to figure stuff out. Appliances, bills, whatever. You learn to see how things connect. Patterns. It's not that different from what your team does, just less fancy. Elise leaned forward, her mind racing. She'd built her company on hiring the best, PhDs, prodigies, geniuses. But Maya was something else. Her mind worked in ways that couldn't be taught. She saw the world differently, and that was worth more than any degree. I want you to work for me, Elise said, her voice firm. Not as an engineer. As a problem solver. A lead troubleshooter. You'd work with the team, find what we miss. Your perspective, it's what we need. Maya blinked, stunned. Me? I'm just a waitress. You're not just anything, Elise said sharply. You saved my company today. You think I care about your resume? Maya hesitated, her mind spinning. She'd spent her life being told she wasn't enough. No degree, no connections, no money. But Elise saw something in her. Something real. I don't know anything about tech, Maya said, her voice small. You'll learn, Elise replied. I'll make sure of it. Training, mentors, whatever you need. Say yes, Maya. Maya took a deep breath, her heart pounding. Okay. Yes. Months later, Maya was thriving. Elise had kept her promise, enrolling her in coding bootcamps and pairing her with top engineers. Maya's role as lead troubleshooter was unconventional, but her ability to spot patterns and solve problems made her indispensable. She worked alongside Raj and Sarah, her ideas sparking innovations that pushed Guardian to new heights. But trouble was brewing. Nexus Corp, Elise's biggest rival, had been sniffing around, trying to steal Guardian's proprietary algorithms. One morning, a security breach alert flashed across the team's screens. Someone had accessed the system's core code, and sensitive data was at risk. Elise was livid, her composure cracking. If they get that code, we're done. Everything we've built, gone. The team scrambled, but the breach was sophisticated, bypassing their defenses. Maya, now a key player, sat at her workstation, her mind working overtime. She noticed something, a subtle irregularity in the access logs, a pattern that didn't belong. It wasn't a hacker. It was an inside job. Elise, Maya said, her voice steady. It's one of ours. Someone on the team. The room froze. Elise's face hardened. Who? Maya pointed to a junior engineer, Tim, who'd been unusually quiet. His credentials were used to access the core last night. He's been feeding Nexus. Tim's face went white. I didn't. Save it, Elise snapped, calling security. Tim was escorted out, but the damage was done. Nexus had enough to replicate Guardian's algorithms. Maya didn't flinch. We can stop them, she said. Rewrite the core to invalidate their data. Make it obsolete. Raj shook his head. That'll take weeks. Not if we work together, Maya said, her eyes blazing. She outlined a plan to overhaul the system's encryption, using a new algorithm she'd been developing in her spare time. The team rallied, working around the clock. Maya led the charge, her instincts guiding them through the chaos. By dawn, the new encryption was live, rendering Nexus's stolen data useless. Elise Technologies was safe. Weeks later, a TechCrunch reporter interviewed Maya about the Guardian crash. She spoke humbly, crediting her team and her upbringing. I just saw the pattern, she said. Growing up, you learn to fix what's broken. The interview went viral. Social media exploded with praise for Maya, a black woman from Oakland who'd saved a billion-dollar company with no formal training. She became a symbol of possibility, breaking stereotypes about who could succeed in tech. Elise watched the coverage with a smile. She'd taken a chance on Maya, and it had changed everything. Guardian was now a global success, and Maya was at the heart of it, her name synonymous with brilliance. A year later, Maya stood at a podium, speaking at a tech conference. Her navy apron was long gone, replaced by a tailored blazer. She was no longer just a waitress, she was Maya Williams, lead troubleshooter at Elise Technologies, a woman who'd changed the industry. Elise sat in the front row, her eyes shining with pride. Maya's speech was about resilience, about seeing patterns where others saw chaos, about believing in yourself when the world said you weren't enough. The crowd gave her a standing ovation. Backstage, Elise hugged her. "You're the future, Maya." Maya smiled, her heart full. "We're the future." As they walked away, the glass walls of the convention center gleamed behind them, reflecting a world where anything was possible. Maya had proven that brilliance could come from anywhere, and Elise Technologies was stronger for it. Together, they'd built something unstoppable, a legacy that would inspire generations to come.